For decades, the West has ruled the global financial system. The US dollar has dominated world trade, the IMF and World Bank has shaped global lending, and Western sanctions have been used as economic weapons. This system has allowed Western economies to maintain financial dominance, dictating the terms of trade, investment, and economic growth for the rest of the world. But now a new player on the field is BRICS, a coalition of emerging economies looking to rewrite global financial rules. From de-dollarization to creating financial institutions, BRICS boldly challenges the Western economic dominance. But can they succeed? Is the world witnessing the start of a new monetary order, or will this simply lead to another era of economic fragmentation? Let's dive deep and find out. Firstly, let's break down what BRICS is. The term was first coined by economist Jim O'Neill in 2001. The emerging economic powerhouses include Brazil, Russia, India, and China. These nations, identified as having high economic growth potential, were expected to play a crucial role in reshaping global finance. In 2010, South Africa joined the group, expanding it to BRICS. The economic concept quickly evolved into a political and financial alliance. This coalition includes 40% of the world's population, 30% of global GDP, and over 18% of world trade. Each BRIC nation plays a critical role in this emerging economy. China, the world's second largest economy, dominates global manufacturing and trade. With its rapidly growing tech sector, India is positioning itself as an innovation and digital finance leader. Russia, an energy giant, holds some of the world's largest oil and natural gas reserves, making it a critical supplier to Europe and Asia. Brazil and South Africa, rich in natural resources, provides essential commodities such as iron ore, agricultural products, and precious metals. With these strengths, BRICS is now looking to break away from Western financial influence and create a system favoring developing nations, enabling economic independence and resilience against external financial pressures. The Western financial system has shaped the global economy for nearly a century. The US dollar became the world's dominant reserve currency after World War II, thanks to the Bretton Woods Agreement in 1944. This made the dollar the default currency for global trade, central bank reserves, and commodity pricing, even after the US abandoned the gold standard in 1971. The dollar retained its power, backed by trust in the US economy, military strength, and global institutions. Some key factors that support the Western financial dominance is the US dollar is used in 88% of global transactions. The SWIFT system controls international banking and payments. The IMF and World Bank issue loans with strict economic conditions, and the Federal Reserve's monetary policies impact global markets. One of the biggest reasons BRICS is pushing back is because the West uses its financial systems as a control tool. The US has leveraged sanctions to cut off entire economies from international finance, pressuring nations to align with Western geopolitical interests. Russia, for example, was removed from SWIFT in 2022, making it difficult to conduct transactions internationally. Many emerging economies argue that the current financial order benefits Western powers disproportionately. Loans from the IMF and World Bank often come with structural adjustments, conditions that force developing nations to implement austerity measures, privatize public assets, or open their markets to foreign competition. This has led to accusations that these institutions serve Western economic and political interests rather than foster independent growth in the developing world. One of the most significant moves by BRICS is reducing dependency on the US dollar. Over 80% of global trade is conducted in dollars, allowing the US to influence international markets and impose sanctions. BRICS nations are actively combating this dominance by increasing trade in local currency. Some examples of de-dollarization efforts include Russia and China now conduct most energy transactions in Chinese yuan. India and the UAE sign agreements to trade directly in rupees and dirhams. Brazil and China have a bilateral trade deal in yuan and authentic. Russia has increased its gold reserves and reduced reliance on Western financial institutions. BRICS has discussed creating a common reserve currency backed by a basket of BRICS currencies or gold. If successful, this would directly challenge the dollar role as the world's primary reserve currency. Let's talk about some pros and cons. So pros include more financial independence, reduce the reliance on the USD, and lower vulnerability to sanctions. but the cons also include high volatility, trust issues among BRICS nations, and potential economic misalignments. The BRICS-led New Development Bank (NDB) provides funding to developing nations without the strict conditions of the IMF. It had already funded over $32 billion in infrastructure projects. The NDB offers a model of South-South cooperation, providing an alternative to the traditional financial order. Will BRICS replace the West, or is this another economic rivalry? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thank you for watching.